And indeed, we are back again, just like Hakkinen back in the day. One of the most winningest drivers around the Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to get techier than techie things. I'm here for it. T-minus 27 minutes before we get ourselves a cheeky FP1, a seminal FP1 per se. When guys and girls, Scuderia Ferrari, the bulls that are ready, going to be bringing the last roll of the dice as far as upgrades in 2024. It's going to get techier than techie things around here, I'm telling you. Because some of these teams are already dialing out. Alex Albon, Williams, Carlos Sainz Jr., James Vowles, aka Jimmy V. They've already sacked it off. Already putting all of their eggs in the 2026 new rules and regs basket. It's gonna get chaotic. Go on then, let's go back and forth since your boy's in a mess today. I'm telling you, chat, if you knew the chaos going on behind the scenes, you would forgive me for my sins. What's going on, Luke? Brett, Joe, John, you guys are legends, each and every single one of you. Darius, go on then. And what are we going to talk about? First, I want to go through the odds. You saw the preview video at this stage, and it's important. T-minus 26 minutes till we get ourselves a cheeky FP1 Austrian Grand Prix round 11, no less. As far as the odds, Oscar Piastri currently favourite to win both the race and put it on pole. Oh, the humanity. 38% of the time, if you run the race simulation 100 times, Oscar Piastri wins. That say the odds makers, the so-called experts. In the second instance from the pole, 36% of the time, OJ Piastri is kicking at some steam here. But they need to put some respect on Maximilian Verstappen's name, because you've already seen per the preview video that this dude, as near as makes no difference, loses no sessions, paid sessions of material consequence at the Austrian Grand Prix. I think he's a different track when he's at home. I think when I see Max Verstappen over at Canada or Miami, he's still Max Verstappen, right? And he's still capable of doing God-tier things. But when you get him in his home territory, his backyard, when it's the Orange Army, I think it's different for Max. I think it's different when, you know what I mean, when it's a 2-hour flight or whatever from his home, well, Monaco to be fair, this is where he lives at the moment, but when it's a short hop from Monaco to bloody Austria or I don't know, I just think he's different, chat. Genuinely, I think he's a bit different, harder to beat. Therefore, it's going to get techie than techie things. T-minus 25 minutes until we get ourselves a check. Your boy needs to get himself some metrics up, doesn't he? Chaotic today, chat. I'm telling you, you have no clue, no idea. But we don't want to hear complaining, Cameron. Behave yourself. Do you know what I mean? Wind your neck back in. What do we need to concern ourselves? This is going to be sort of a preview thing, a similar, not quite the preview thing, but we'll talk about context, because context is key. Always. Go on then, Austrian Grand Prix. And again, the metrics that I'm about to bring up on your screen are brought to you, as always, by Multiviewer. If you like watching your F1 sessions with some cheeky KPI to accompany, then go and download yourself Multiviewer, the go-toest F1 app to have ever F1'd. Download it on a PC or a desktop. Right, bear with me, chat. I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday, by the way, and I'm grateful ad infinitum, appreciative no less, for you guys for checking my very nutty B-spec F1 maths on this Friday afternoon. It's going to get techier than tech. Go on and hang on. What do I need to do over here? There's a couple things, of course. Right, let's do one of these. And let's do one of these. Bosh. No timing up. Okay, whatever. If we talk mistakes, Lando is the main man. Charles learned the thing. Darius, are we going into mistakes this early? I thought it was a bit too early. You saw me talking to Tactical Rab about this yesterday, and I feel like Tactical, the legend, Aaron, like different caliber each and every. I feel like he's a bit nice on Charles. I think like people generally are a little bit nice on Charles for my liking. You know what I mean? As brilliant as I tell you what happens. It is availability heuristic, isn't it? It's the cognitive dissonance where we remember only what we choose to remember, that highlights the brightest portions of Charles Leclerc's career. And he yeets it into the barrier a bit too many times for me, if I'm honest, still. Still, as brilliant as he is, and the Charles Leclerc fans, the modern day journalese stands, fundamentalists, the extremists, will say, well, you can't drive that fast as fast as Charles Leclerc drives. You can't beat Tron, wipe out 2097 and not yeet it into the barrier a couple of times. And that there is argument. There is that argument to be made. Of course there is. But if you want to win championships of the driver's variety, then you might want to trend down those mistakes. Not quite to zero, but as near as makes no difference. All F1 drivers make mistakes, of course, but bloody Nora. He makes more than most, does Charles Leclerc. Maybe that is because he's so fast. Maybe he does push. But I swear at the start of this season, I heard Charles Leclerc in his soliloquy assessing for his performance in real time, saying that he was going to dial it back, because he understands now the importance of finishing, because for the avoidance of doubt, one of the oldest F1 truisms is this, is it not? To finish first, one must first finish. So what are we doing then, Charles? Again, FP1. He's hoping, but he's a demon around here, isn't he? Here's who you want to watch. Charles, Lando, Max, all of whom are demons around here. Valtteri Bottas too tends to go well at the Austrian Grand Prix. So I don't know. Chat's confusing. What's going on, Joe? Still rolling the cat. Yeah, it has to be done. I'm not feeling. What's underneath here is not purple sectors, chat. So once your boy gets time to sort it out, we'll throw the cap in the bit. I hate caps as well. You guys have no idea, but it again needs must sometimes. Yes, Cameron, I stopped thinking Lando would become 2.0. Maybe it's because Charles is a bit more reserved in his declaration. I know Lando's always talking. He can't help himself. He's a young cheeky chap, he's Charles, and I want to root for him, but he makes it hard, man. He keeps writing checks with his mouth that his AWS cannot, no, will not cash, and I think that's a problem. It is the old if you're talking about Lando, it is the old pressure expectation doom loop, of which Nico Rosberg talks so eloquently and succinctly, the one for which he managed to solve in 2016. I just think somebody's going to have to write a documentary about Lando. It's documentary worthy, isn't it? Biopic settings as far as Lando's concerned. I hope he can do it. Like, despite all of my my talking negatively, extemporaneously about Lando Norris, I do hope he can get it done over the line. It's a good news story for F1, isn't it? If Lando Norris gets it done, but I don't know. Just having a cheeky look back at Maximilian Verstappen during the press conference. Did you see the mask? Max, have you seen the F1 movie? Is it out yet? Yes, Max Verstappen cares not for the frivolity so intrinsically linked to Formula One in June of 2025. He's not interested. Leave him alone. He wants the race. He only does all of this sponsorship gubbins and interview nonsense in order to get in the car. He cares not for it, and I like that about Matt. I'm not going to lie to you. Truth, value, objectivity, yeah, whatever. I like the fact that Max is here, blinkered. That's his aspect as far as him being an F1 driver. Anything outside of here, F1 movie premiere, don't care about it. Do you know what I mean? I think that's edifying. I think there is redeeming value in that. There he is. We missed you, Eddie. Eddie back in the chat. Andash says, let's see who's got what as far as performance goes. Let's hope Scuderia turn up. Oh, mate, I'm not counting my chickens as far as Scuderia Ferrari. I'll be honest with you, I'm not. Do you guys see as well, by the way, Max correcting Tom Clarkson? Tom was like, you'll be going for your fifth win round here. You've won 4 times already. Max was like, no, mate, I've already got 5. Tom Clarkson says, no, 4. Max is like, no, 5, mate. And of course, they're talking at cross purposes, aren't they? Because Max is including his 2021 Sprint race win, that would count as 5. He's not bad around here, Max. I'm telling you, it's going to be for anybody to beat him around here in a car capable of winning races and therefore championships. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. As Thank God, we need that. We need that. Penalty points. Gunchan that makes it clear. Everybody wants to talk about Max. Stop glazing Max Cameron, but I mean, bloody no. Who else is going to take it to those boys and girls over at McLaren? If not for Max bloody Verstappen. Like, what are we doing here? This is chaos. Use this dialing my number here. Bear with me, chat. Yeah, it is gonna get techy over here. Just a second. What's good, Pete? Ready for another race weekend? 100%. Cameron usually goes live 5 a.m. my time. Yeah, Eddie, it's all over the shop, isn't it? Because timing differences, back-to-back trading. Huh. Lewis managing expectations, saying that these upgrades, rear floor or rear suspension even, not going to make a load of a massive amount of change. Oh, the humanity! Not interested in promoting. I'm not. Yeah, I get you. User. Not interested in promoting the sport. The world sometimes is more complicated than it needs to be. Max Verstappen understands, if we're talking Max again, Max will understand that there's certain boxes that he needs to tick in order to go racing on a Sunday. More than that, though. Max is minimum viable product, isn't he? He's not going to go to the Premier if he doesn't need to. Rather spend that time with Lily and Kelly, and I don't hate it. Just south of Bangkok. Let's go. No, south of what? South of Roanoke, Virginia. Eddie, no chance of pronouncing those words. My enunciation is chaos today. Melbourne, Australia. Let's go, Andash. Looking at the head-to-head. Oh, I missed it. Looking at the head-to-head of Charles versus Lewis. 9-1 in races. Proper. And they'll tell you that Lewis Hamilton is still in his prime, mate. Maybe he is. As Ted Kravitz looks at the upgrade. Aero rake on the back to establish whether the airflow, whether the upgrades have worked by dint of the airflow. Anyone watch? I haven't watched it, Michael. I feel like Max Verstappen. I saw a clip. Just, mate, it looks so over-egged. I understand that we have the F1 community has a penchant for leaning into intellectual snobbery. I understand it. But when I watched it and I saw the fire coming out the back of the car, I was like, no, I'm all right, you know. I don't think when it comes out on cable and I don't have to pay for a ticket, then I feel like they've said this to Drive to Survive. Yeah, creative license, poetic license. I will see you there and I'll raise you this. And if Drive to Survive, as far as their creative license, dial it up to 8 or 9. Brad Pitt and co dialed it up to like 70,000. I don't need it. I'd just rather just watch the race. You know what I mean? F1 TV to 0. Oh, old man. Who is it today? I mean, I know Crofty's not in attendance, so we'll get Harry Benjamin on Sky during FP1. Bernie Collins incoming. Yeah, don't hate that. Interpreter. The accent is a bit difficult sometimes. The accent is a bit difficult. Oh, here we go. Top speed 340 kilometers per hour, 10 corners. Elevation 63.4 meters. It's going to be techie. It's turn 3, turn 4, right? That's the complexity. Turn 4 is going to be track infringement settings all over again. How will they handle that? Again, stones, gravel on the outside, so they will get penalised by extension. But flipping Nora. It's turn 4, chat. 1,300 track infringements a couple of years ago, all of which they needed to investigate after the race. Turn 3 is going to get techie again. Hopefully Lando Norris has learned his lesson, gone back and watched previous iterations of this Grand Prix, during which Carlos Sainz and Maximilian Verstappen have successfully pulled off overtaking maneuver. You can do it at turn 3. You just got to remember that it does, just before you turn in, it veers left. And that's what Lando failed to do. One of my daughters is in Spielberg. Well, let's go, Joe. Let's go. I hope your daughter has a fantastic time. Jomo's got his second channel going. Jomo, we're gonna have to talk, mate. I'm loving that. Go across to Jomo's second channel as and when that content goes up. What's going on, good people of Cameron CC? It's only FP1, but we're here for it. Grateful to have you here, and I echo the sentiments of moderator extraordinaire Jomo. That I'm grateful ad infinitum. There is no channel without you guys turning up, fact checking me, holding my F1 feet to the fire. By the way, chat, if this is a qualifying championship, 0.404 was the delta that Max Verstappen held in his back pocket over the next best this time last year in qualifying. 0.40, half a second, a chasm. That, ladies and gentlemen, of the F1 jury's chaos. Most of us are eventually going to watch a movie called the F1 movie. We just need to be ready for some Darius, I'll get round to it, I promise. I will get round to it in the end. I don't want to be an F1 snub, because it puts me off. F1's always been very like, you over there, us over here. Yes, we'll bring you in so long as you bring thousands of pounds, David, 930 in Oz. You guys tuning in from all these chaotic times for FP1. Chef's kiss level of commitment. I commend each and every single one of you. T-minus 11 minutes away from FP1, round 11 Australian. David, you see what you've done to me there? Austrian Grand Prix. Annunciation settings, Cameron. Cheeky look at Maximilian Verstappen. Slender Max, isn't he? He's ready to go. He's got that long distance runner physique. Oh. Lando out of FP1 already. And Charles Leclerc also. Oof. Techie. Gonna get a bit techie, that. Charles Leclerc out of FP1. Does Charles Leclerc need FP1 at Austria? Does he need the track time? Well, it's elite. You've got to run so many rookies over the course of the year, haven't you? Huh. Right, let's have a go. Let's see if we can get some cheeky metrics going. Let us go. There we go. There we go. Let's make this bigger. How about we do that? Eh? Bosh. Done. Do I just get the radio transcriptions back up as well? We'll see. Haven't got to the movie yet. Worried about fake engine. Yeah, it's all of it contrived. Symbiotic cam. Very good word there, Joe. I'll try my best to avoid it. Darius Tony says, which car has the highest quality proven brakes? Good question, that. But they all use, I mean, it's carbon industry and it's Brembo. Depending on who you're talking to, which team you're talking about. Mercedes is still on carbon industry. Brembo have had issues, haven't they? More as far as reliability, if that's the conversation that we're having. Brembo have had issues. You remember Charles Leclerc early last season was talking about glazed brake discs. Carlos Sainz said he'd had issues before then, not dissimilar. And then Red Bull had issues last year, didn't they? Australia, inertia, brake valve, something like that. No spoilers, I'm watching tomorrow. Brett, I hope you enjoy it, Brett. I don't know. I haven't got to see the movie yet. F1 TV is streaming here if you have a VPN to detect it. Yeah, I got the islands messed up. Shan't watch the movie. Not for me. Yeah, Bismarck. I concur. So, T minus 7 minutes until we get ourselves a cheeky FP1, and I'm here for it. Listo, locked in, ready to go. And this is an important one. Strategic objective settings. The outcomes of this, these aero rake, airflow findings, aerodynamic due diligence, will determine whether the likes of Ferrari still continue to invest in 2025 as a sporting endeavour proper, or whether they start to look to 2026, whether there is more gains from divesting out of 2025 of a season and investing into 2026, bearing in mind completely new power unit, etc., active aero, etc. This is 2014 all over again. So what are they going to do? Well, it would depend on the outcomes of this, won't it? Cam, do you think MSC was as ruthless as Max? Oh, was Michael Schumacher as ruthless? Is a great question. That I think they were similar but different. Similar, not same. I'd say Michael. I don't know. It's a really good question. That we might have to revisit it. Got to remember it's entertainment, not academic. 100%, 100%. But the lines are blurry, aren't they? Between suspending your disbelief and I don't know. I've already heard. Close your eyes. This isn't spoiler. But I've already heard the guys and girls over at the race say that there's some bits and bobs. Like they went into they were trying to wear too many caps at once. That they wanted to be true to the sport and talk about DRS and tyre offsets and all this stuff. But then in doing that, you lose a bit of the story. The best stories ever told in cinema don't necessarily need a lot of translation. They just, do you know what I mean? It just speaks for itself. The story's so strong and broad that it stands on its own 2 feet. That's the best. The Godfather, you don't need to explain the nuances of like mafia life. The Godfather is like it's a person's story. I don't know. Liam, you're a legend. That disrespect served on Max last night was typical British bias. Made piss boil. Russell 4 wins versus Max 4 wins. 4 titles, go figure. Are you on about the conversation between me and Tactical? Tactical's a straight shooter. Like he'll give his opinion, and I wanted to give him the length and breadth, the space within which he could operate. I think though, Liam, he's on to. Okay. I don't think Tactical was saying that. Aaron, by the way, was saying that George is a better driver, but I think he's speaking, Liam, to the law of diminishing returns. Do you know what I mean? I think the gap, 9 times out of 10, I think the gap, here's the conclusion, right? And this might sound like blasphemy to you guys. But I think the conclusion is this, that 9 times out of 10, George is probably closer to Max than some of the outlier performances would have you believe. T minus 4 minutes until we get ourselves a cheeky FP1 round 11 Austrian Grand Prix. I hear you though, Liam, and I appreciate you as always for the enduring support, mate. It's a conversation, isn't it? Law of diminishing returns. Harry Benjamin on deck. Crofty not in attendance. Round 11, 2025 Formula 1 World Championship. Austria. Red Bull Ring. Shortest track on the calendar. 10 corners. Track distance 4.3 kilometers. Top speed 340 kilometers per hour. Track lap record 102. Valtteri Bottas. 63.4 meters elevation. 71 laps is your race distance. 105.6 is your race lap record. C3, C4, C5. Compound tyres are in attendance here. No C6. Too temperamental. 2 tyre deggy as far as the challenge that's presented by these 10 corners of the Austrian Grand Prix round 11. March in the house. Apologies for my recent answers. Behave yourself, much. You don't need to apologise to me. This happens in real life. It's been juggling the demands of one's dutiful obligations whilst immersed in scholarly pursuits. I don't hate it much, and make no apology for pursuing academic excellence. Do you know what I mean? Don't make any excuses for that, mate. And I hope you're Keeping your head above water as Anthony D gets into the nuance. How short is Anthony Davidson? He's shorter than Bernie. What is going on here? And Harry Benjamin's about 10 foot taller. Techie. Anthony D states the obvious, that because there's only 10 corners, you get the opportunity to do all of these turns a lot of times, right? Frequency, getting due diligence in. Maybe that's why Max Verstappen is so quick around it. I dare say Michael Schumacher sometimes went further than, Jerez 97. I don't know. It's close. Max just wants to win, as did Michael Schumacher. I don't know. Is Michael more... It's a good question. That's got me stumped. I don't know. I don't know the answer to it. I do not know the answer to that question. Right, we are ready to go. T minus 60 seconds till we get ourselves a cheeky FP1 round 11. Oof. How do you like yourself some F1? And how, more to the point, do you like yourself some upgrades? That's bear with, chat. It's all going on in the background. Upgrade Central. Oh, Alex Dunn, Dino Beganovic, who is the most ruthless F1 driver. Well, of those currently on the grid, that's an easy answer, isn't it? Easy peasy. Oh. Bear with me, chat. It's all kicking off, I promise you. We have an FP1, but your boy's got an emergency. It's chaotic. More chaotic than chaotic things at this moment, or ever, Bizzle. I know, don't even. It's a conversation, this. We're going to get into arguing already, aren't we? Who's the most ruthless F1 driver in history? Let's go, Visual. 14-month member. What do you mean? Put some respect on Visual's name. Lewis is the most ruthless. Silverstone 21. Oh, Visual, we're gonna go down that road. Are we gonna cover those very acute F1 turns at this juncture? T minus 58 minutes left on the docket. We have ourselves FP1 round 11. Your boy's just dealing with this emergency. Oh my. Right, let's go. What do I need to do? It's all kicking off, chat. Sid Cup. Do I just... Apologies for the radio silence, chat. I'm coming, I promise. Senna took no prisoners. That's a good shout, actually, to be fair. T-minus 56 minutes left on the docket. And again, this is an all-important FP1 where the guys and girls over at Scuderia Ferrari see whether their car, their SF25, is salvageable. This matters, chat, because otherwise they're going to have to sack it off, and potentially Frederick Vasseur is going to lose his job. Team principal Frederick Vasseur of that their red car and the yellow badge and black prancing Corsa. I'm telling you, it's going to get techier than techie things out here. Oh, Lance Stroll goes quickest. Touch your timing sheets. T-minus 56 minutes left on the docket. Punter Cameron caught live. Did I punt somebody? Yeah. To be fair, I used to be a bit of a dirty driver back in the day, I'll be honest with you. Clean on track, but in the sim. And somebody said this about Max, that like the move on George was that of a sim racer, right? It's almost like a not quite an FU, but nearly. Do you know what I mean? It's a sim racing move. It's quite funny that, eh? I don't know. Right, let me do one of these. We're going to get some... Right. Oh, Max Verstappen into turn 3. Infringement settings. But that will never get punished in FP1, sadly. Never. Never, ever. Sartastic Funza. Let's go. Let us go. We're tinkering, chat. I promise you, we're going to test and learn here. We are going to test and learn. I pay for you to do stuff. Handle it. Let's go. Yes, I know the premium. Who survives YouTube without premium these days? I couldn't. Arnu was a very bad boy sometimes. Rene, the ruthless Arnu. Let's go. But then ironically, in his most famous moment, they were quite fair, weren't they? Arnu and Gilles. Mario Kart Racing, the first driver ever cheered for was Graham Hill, showing my age here, Mr. Monaco. How many times did he win? He won several times, didn't he? 3, 4 at Monaco, Graham Hill. He won several times. Cameron CC isn't punter. Sorry, Umar, you are right. Punter. My friends used to say that I punted them off the track, but no, a punter is a gambler. I said because you were no, absolutely not. Umar, I was I'll tell you a story. Our car got crashed into. So I'm in the throes of negotiating with the underwriter who want to give us £10 for a car that's worth much more than that. Well, not much more. Maybe the car's worth about £300. But they're not going to give us 10. No. We need another James Hunt type of a player. I don't disagree with that. Goes on to something. I know my real name. I needed a streaming Google name that has nothing to do with me. YouTube is daft. Yeah, no, I don't hate it, Darius. YouTube algorithm can be a bit temperamental from time to time. Alex Dunn in that McLaren. Can you imagine if Alex Dunn can do a quicker time than Oscar Piastri in that McLaren? Oh, the humanity. I doubt it, though. OJP's in enhorabuena, as they say, in great form. Very tough to beat at the moment. And not in the race. Not in the race, in the championship. 27 points down the road from Lando, 43 points down the road from Maximilian Verstappen. He's going to play defense, not dissimilar to Max in previous years, right? If you let Max Verstappen get a lead in the championship, very hard to overturn that, overcome it. And I feel like Oscar Piastri is now singing from that same hymn sheet. Even I hate coming, no premium, like 3 years, got sucked in for free, can't go back. I don't hate it, Jen. I don't hate it, Gen X. But I don't know. I've got to do the premium. I mean, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound, don't I? What else am I going to do? What are we doing here? Says, bruh. It was an amazing battle. It was a brilliant battle. 19. My knowledge fails me. 79. Arnoux Villeneuve. Somebody enlighten me. Once you go premium, you don't go by 100%, Joe. Can't do it. Done radio need. Racing engineer says, so what? What are you talking about? Oh, the humanity. Oh, my hat's itching me. If I could take it off, I would take it off. But it's glued on now, chap. Do you know what I mean? George Russell, Mr. Saturday, now Mr. Sunday. How very dare Toto disrespect George so much? It's insane. I tweeted out yesterday. Toto says, we'll have an announcement about George's contract within the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks come and go, and it's tumbleweed. If you were ever going to give George a contract and announce that he was the guy that we had dialed into George, King George Russell PLC long term, if you were ever going to do it, surely it would be after the Canadian Grand Prix, after a god tier qualifying, when he beats Max Verstappen, the dude that you're so desperately trying to hire. 79 Frost. I thought it was. I'm not too bad with the dates sometimes. But how very dare Toto do that? Disrespect. I don't even like George Russell at the best of times, but he's just getting disrespected left, right, and so it's not good enough. It's not fair. It isn't fair. They need to do better than that. Makes me dislike Toto, the boy who cried wolf, even more than I did originally. Do you know what I mean? What are we doing here? Absolute nonsense. Here we go. Ted Kravitz on deck. Easy G, talk to me about your boy Lando, man. Talk to me. Ted Kravitz alluding to the point that we made earlier in our preview video, being that no GP on deck. Giampiero Lambiase won't be in attendance for personal reasons. Oh, the humanity, says Tony. Oscar Potato. If George doesn't get a contract, where will he go? Aston Martin would have him. Red Bull would have him if Max isn't there. I don't know. 4 wins and George Russell is a key. Is a key. Not gonna lie. Don't know what you mean, Ron. Osterreich was really something. It's not a bad track around there. Karting track. Max, soon to be former WDC. Oh, the humanity, bro. How very dare you. Go on then. Would you back against Max Verstappen? No. You know what I feel like? I feel like we're at that stage in the championship where we were last year. When Lando and Max Verstappen not happy with the handling dynamic of his car. I feel like there was a stage just before Brazil 24. Lando was 60 points adrift, Max, and everybody was saying Lando's going to nail it. I spoke to some very senior people, alleged F1 aficionados, all of whom were like, no, Lando's going to win. Will Buxton, as a case in point, I don't think Lando can win. I think Lando will win, is what Will Buxton said before Brazil 2024. And then Maximilian Verstappen dunked on their AWS. What are you talking about now, Will Buxton? The truth will make mugs of those who continue to disbelieve the evidence of their own eyes and ears. I'm just hoping he can do it, get back at it. I think it'll be. I think it'll go well around there. If he has a car, it would be difficult to beat. I mean, if he out-qualified, imagine if he out-qualified Lando to the tune of 4/10 last year, when that McLaren was so dominant, as near as makes no difference, all of H2 in 2024. I don't know. You love Valsecchi. Valsecchi, his personality, isn't he, Eddie? To be fair to him, It doesn't bat 1,000, but do you need to bat 1,000 to be engaging, entertaining, informative? Not all the time. You don't need to bat 1,000. Matt's whinging about breaking into turn 1. He braked with LHF on the blue paint, says Leek. Oof. GP's off for the weekend. Matt's fans. Matt's has Mark Webber's old race engine. Oh no, Benzie. That doesn't bode well. Oh no. George Russell currently purple. Topping your timing sheets with T minus 47 minutes and 30 seconds left on the docket with a 106.537 dialed in. Buxton said Lawson is like Max 10 years ago. I know they all. Listen, if you don't base your thinking on sound grounds, then the truth, history will make a mug of you. I promise you that. It will. It just does. Do you know what I mean? Multi 21. Multi 21. Multi 21, Seb. Multi 21. Mark Webber was such a joke. But he should have won that first year, eh? 2010. That was his. He went into the season finale as favourite. I'll never forget it. Will's at IndyCar, thank God. I miss Will a little bit, Darwin. I'll be honest with you. I do miss Will a little bit. F1 can be a very linear space. Look at Jonathan Wheatley in those stake. Oh, that looks weird, eh? Seeing Jonathan Wheatley. There are these drivers and team members who have been like one man or one women team bods for the longest time. Imagine seeing Max Verstappen in those Mercedes overalls. It's weird. Just like it. I mean, seeing Lewis in the Ferrari overalls still freaks me out. It just looks bonkers. So imagine seeing Max in Ferrari. Or imagine seeing Ayrton Senna in Williams overalls. That's why Matt Bishop, friend of the channel, always says that when he sees Senna, pictures of Senna in the Rotherhams racing Williams overalls, it just feels wrong because you just used to seeing him in Tolman and you used to see him in McLaren overalls. It just feels like, yeah, I don't know, bruh. Gonna get chaotic, mate. Multi 21 P20. Them Ferraris look tired. Yeah, they did that. Well, got new bits and bobs though. Webber drew the short straw. Should have won. 104 of you in the chat. Do me a favour and smash the like, please. You guys are legends. We are. T minus 44 minutes left on the docket. This is FP1 round 11, the Austrian Grand Prix. It's going to get techier than techie things. Let's Formula 1 drive. Tony, I wish, mate. I wish. I wish. Damon Hill Arrows was wearing sad. Yeah, no, agreed. Just looked off, didn't it? I don't know. Looked like it even endured a little bit for Damo. Just I don't know. Huh. Big lot from Yuki. Hmm. 263 of you in the chat concurrently. Do me a favour and smash a like. I'm grateful. I make no apologies for labouring this point. As we see Yuki Tsunoda, big lock up. Big lock up into turn 3. The same point on the track last year where Lando and Max had their cheeky love kiss. Where Lando finally ran out of patience. So frustrated was he with the endeavour that was to get around 1 Maximilian Verstappen foursome, so he seems to be 5-time champion. Damon in the Arrows at Hungary 97 was epic. I don't know. Just feels like fate sometimes is a bit twisty and turny, right? Feels like some of these things, to see Senna in those Williams overalls, I don't know. I mean, it's emblematic of you just see that and you just think of him, don't you? Really, really sad. Very, very, very sad. Red Bull forgot downforce at Milton Keynes. I think they'll be alright. I think they'll be alright in the end. They'll nail it. They always do, don't they? Red Bull look rubbish, and then all of a sudden they remember who they are at the critical times. The paid sessions. Remember, this is a qualifying championship, if you're to believe the words of Frederick Vasseur. And who better to... I don't want to do the... I tell you what, if I were a betting man, I would already... This is not financial advice, by the way, but if I were a betting man, I might already have quite a few pounds on Maximilian Verstappen to drop this on pole. 0.4. 0.4, ladies and gentlemen, the F1 Drew. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Let's go. We cannot do Maxim Merca. I know, it's bonkers used. I just can't even... It's a Black Swan event. Nicholas Nazim Taleb, isn't it? Like, it's I can barely conceive of it yet, let alone envision it. Lando's his own worst enemy. We're going to talk about that, Brett. It's too much. I can't do... I don't know. It's a tragedy. Like, it's a real travesty if Lando can't... Imagine a season where Lando has the best car, is in his prime. He's meant to be the chosen one. He's been the chosen one all his life. The fastest in all the Formula feeder. Always was going to be a champion. And then he ends up doing a journal late. Like, he's like... Is he going to leave all of his potential on the table here? Do me a favour, by the way, chat. There is a merch store. Type in Cameron F1 merch and you will see it. God tier, market leading merch, some say. Get yourself some if you so choose. I need to start bloody pinning the thing. If you want to become a member, bottom left of your screen, there is a button that says join. Click that. It's only $2.99 a month. You will get yourself access to the Discord where we continue to have the conversation. Priority in the chat, a cheeky, colourful name and some emojis. So to a newsletter. I've got to talk about these things sometimes. The YouTube algorithms say Aaron is entitled to his own opinions, says Umanch. Couldn't agree with some, but the man is a proper brain. His levels, Aaron. His levels. And of course, we're talking about tactical. I've got to give him credit. I just, for one so young, to be so dialed in here. Lando Norris needs to have a word with tactical Rab. Do you know what I mean? To get that Mamba mentality. I rate him highly. You know what it will cost me to replace all my goodies with Mert stuff. Horrified. You got to keep the old Max Verstappen Red Bull stuff though. You have to, right, for nostalgia, if indeed it does happen. Well, they're having conversations now. They're having conversations. George told us as much. Cameron, everybody needs to watch out because Merc might just have a half decent car. You know what that means, Cameron? What have I told you, mate? That means that King George Russell might be in for the running. Let me just take a look at the odds. George Russell, from memory, was like, he was 4th favourite, if I recall. Yeah, 4th favourite. So they say that George, I mean, he was 5th favourite last race. He wasn't even close. And then look what happened there. 0.15 down the road from the rest. Put some receipt. He's not bad, George. He's the Andash. I've got a... F1 Diplo's been telling me for the longest time. He's not a bad peddler. He's a killer. And people are going to have to... I don't want to be on the wrong side of history with the George thing. He's good. He's really, really good. It'd be disingenuous of me to argue anything to the contrary at this stage. He's really, really good. I don't know. Man. It's all kicking off. 130. Tactical is biased against Oscar. I think he just shoots straight. Aaron might not disagree with his bits and bobs. Put some respect on King George Russell's name of Kingsley Norfolk. What are you talking about? Of course, one must, one needs to. We are on an internationally syndicated Sky Sports F1 break. Temperature, weather helping Merc potentially. It's meant to be cooler. Meant to be rain. Some say the weather forecast is so weird. I've investigated it so much different times, and each time I check and do some due diligence, I'll get a different answer. Some are saying that it will be, well, it's rain. It was supposed to be raining now. Look at the track. The rain's already finished. Some say that there might be rain on Sunday or thunderstorms. Some are saying that the rain has come and gone, and you won't expect to see any more rain between now and the end of the race weekend. In March, EasyG says, realistically, Lando needs to get ahead on points and keep a gap to Oscar and Max if he wants to make this easier on himself, as they're extremely considered 100% EasyG. It's almost like EasyG, if you wanted to like revise history, Lando Norris needed to build on the Australian Grand Prix and never let them get in front of him ever again. Do you know what I mean? He needed to build on that, but he keeps making bloody mistakes. He needs to know that pressure isn't something that he deals well with. So he needs to build himself a driver's campaign, therefore, in its image, a pressureless or frictionless circumstance as far as is possible. I don't know. I don't know, chap. It's tough for Lando. I feel like I'm being harsh on him sometimes, but I'm not, am I? I'm not. Rab was great yesterday. Usually so too energetic for me. Ladder man, not my thing. I mean, Law's there in attendance, isn't he? If you've seen him on Twitter, he's at the Austrian Grand Prix, proper live. Yeah, no, both of those two. I mean, the content creation space forever. I was thinking earlier, I was watching some Caitlin Clark bury the threes, record-breaking settings, doing bits for WNBA, not dissimilar to Lewis and Max, Senna, Mansell before that. Like, do you know what I mean? Every once in a while, there will one of them will rise up from the rest. Do you know what I mean? Separate themselves at the altar of sporting endeavour par excellence. At the moment for F1, he has a name. His name is Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc will get there too. But seeing the bits that Caitlin Clark is doing for WNBA, I'm like, well, you just need one, right? I don't know. Lando could be that guy. He really could, but I mean, she's not bad, is she, Joe? I've never watched a WNBA game in my life, or W as they're calling it now. Never. And now all of a sudden I'm getting recommended highlights by the YouTube algorithm. A rising sports star boat floats, or rising sports stars tide even floats or boats. Lewis utterly sandbagging. I might buy a Caitlin Clark jersey as well. Not bad. Steely as well. Mamba mentality settings. Lando's not a builder, he's a bubbler. Oh, the humanity. Constructive criticism is real, says Error. Fair cop. Why they show Piastri's outlap instead of Russell's hot lap? Because the broadcasters are numpties, that's why. They always... Reese is the best, says Warland. See, I know of Reese, but I don't know of Reese properly. There's two that I don't know. Lando Norris said, oh my gosh, we're getting deep into WNBA talk, at which point I'll segue nice and neatly back to F1 because I'm out of my depth. George Russell faster sector 1, 16.6, sector 2, 29.0, also George Russell, sector 3, 19.95, also George Russell. Bloody Nora, chat. What's going on here? No one's getting even close. Carlos Sainz, by the way, on mediums. To be fair, George Russell's done a bit of a glory run on soft compound tyres. Antonelli's the only one who's chucked soft compound tyres just yet, having done 2 laps, and he's gone on a 106.1, 4 tenths adrift. Lando can't win a WDC. Trust me, says Andash. Not got the required mental fortitude, and I told Cameron that, and now everybody uses it. because it's a correct diagnosis. He's got speed and talent, but he's not. I think you might. It's chaos, Andash. But his deficiencies now are allowed in the space, eh? Don't watch basketball, but that girl gets a lot of hate. Agreed, Darius? Too bad people can't seem to hate performance. I mean, nobody loves a winner, eh? It's much easier to root for the underdog because in them we see ourselves. It's the oldest truism in sports history that when it rains on Sunday, friend gets absolutely drenched. His name is Mike Litoris. He's a big Max fan. Let's go, watch. Everybody's getting paid. I feel like I should have gone to Austria, but then how would we do this? Wouldn't work, would it? 256 of you watching concurrently. Do me a favour and smash the like. I'm gonna tag a product. There we go. Turtle in the house. I can't see Turtle. Turtle, Dove, wishing you well, man. Sending you strength. T minus 31 minutes left on the docket. Oh no, Alex. Last, I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else though, right? First time in an F1 car proper. Oh no, double trouble. Absolutely killed my joke. Say it again a few times. I know, you much. I clocked it late. You linguistic sabotage. It's thunder and hail when the race on Sunday. Is that what they're saying, honey? I've seen it. I've seen people. Whilst we're here, let me see if I can. Here's the forecast that I see. That's the forecast that I see. That, to my mind, oh no, look. Saturday and Sunday. I'm looking at the wrong date. Saturday and Sunday, 28th and 29th. Sun, cloudy, but sunny. Oh, the humanity. What are we doing here, chat? Oh no. Max Verstappen will be doing his rain dance overnight, eh? Go on then, on board with Lewis Hamilton. Don't mind if I do. On mediums though, by the way, everyone's putting on a bit of softs as we approach qualifying climatic circumstance. By the way, 38.8 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees Celsius are your track and ambient temperatures respectively. Humidity 52%. Look at that, last races. 2nd, 10th, 4th, 3rd, 1st. I mean, why do they show that? Like, if you're talking about Max's last races, like, show them properly, eh? You're going to show them properly. It is Max's last few races. 24 in 2024, he was 5th. Was he 5th actually? Is that right? Anyway, he was definitely 1st in 23, 2nd in 22, 1st in the sprint race in 21 and 21, 3rd in 20, DNF. Oh, so the DNF in the sprint race, 19, 18, 1st. It's hard to beat this chap around here, to be honest. It's just hard. That's why he's so quick and keen to correct Tom Clarkson. When Tom Clarkson in the presser said, listen, mate, you've only won 4. It's like, well, including sprint races, we're talking 5. What do you want about? Tom Clarkson, put some respect on Max Verstappen's name. Antagonistic of mood was one Maximilian Verstappen in the he doesn't want to talk to them, does he? Doesn't want to talk about the rules and regs. Feels like he's being set up, us against them settings. Yes, it's warm, but in the afternoon you get hail and thunder, it says. Oh my gosh, honey. Oh my God. Slave habit diabolical. Turtle, you're a legend. Legend. Wishing you the best, mate. Health is Fernando Alonso, cheeky oversteer moment. Sending in strength, Turtle, massively. Max won't want wet weather, I don't think. Behave yourself, Sam. In which world? Max always wants wet. Red Bull are running a stupidly low downforce rear wing in the hopes of gaining straight line speed. Go on, let's check that. That's fact. That is a good shout, Sam. They can adjust it, right? That's the point of free practice. That you amend to match your climatic circumstance depending on the highest probability. So hang on, let's have a look at... Good shout, actually. Max currently running 314 kilometers, fastest of the 20 currently out on track. Relative to King George, 311. The next quickest is Carlos Sainz on 313 kilometers per hour. Tsunoda-san, 313. Alonso was lucky not to yeet it 100%. What's going on with Fernando? Every time I say "la" of Sir Lewis Hamilton fundamentally is saying, well, how about Alonso? True. Kind of. Cold rear tyres. Charlie had his chances from 19 to 2022 when Ferrari had the car. Did they have the car really though, Andash? 2022 early before they brought in that technical directive and messed up the extent to which they can run their car low. So 2022, like the first half of that season, yeah, they had a car then, but then everybody caught up and passed them. So I don't know if you could argue, as much as I like I'm partial to a bit of a modern day journalistic slander. I think if we're playing balancing games, being balanced even in our assessment of modern day journalistic, I don't think he's had a car. Not over the course of a season entire. Umanch, member, elated Pebbler now for 5 months. You're a legend, Umanch. Grateful. I mean, seeing your name, chat. Seeing your name in the chat makes me happy. In 2021, there were 2 races in Austria. Oh yeah, true. COVID. COVID, you are correct. Too much. I stand correct. This is why I need you guys to fact check me and hold my feet to the flames. True. Great shout. So therefore he's right. He's 5 already. Go back and look. We'll go through that later on in the Friday night show. Gina says, love your collab with Aaron. He's a legend, this tactical rab. He's blazing a trail out here. Purple, Mr. Purple. One day I will get into his slipstream chat. He's not a bad content creator. And not a bad guy either. Was one in Austria, one in Styria. True, they changed the name, didn't they, Joe? Same track though. Thanks, Cameron. Alonso is old and Father Time is undefeated, undisputed. Pound for pound has never lost a round. I am just glad and amazed he still wants to do this. Bravo, Alonso. Same can be said for Sir Lewis, I suppose. I wonder whether in equal machinery as at June, the 6th month for the 2025th year, whether Alonso in equal machinery beats Sir Lewis. I don't know the answer to that question, you know. I suppose it depends on what car. Open up DRS camera. Let's go. Let us go. Your boy needs to blow his note. 294 of you in the chat, and I'm grateful for each and every single one of you. Ad infinitum in perpetuity without compunction, and I mean that. I mean that with all my heart, and I make no apologies for labouring that point, although bear with me, your boy needs to blow his nose because it's hay fever settings as always. Or can I manage today? I'll be back, I promise. T minus 24 minutes left on the docket. There is no greater pleasure in the world than blowing a nose. Although I need to stop doing it. Apparently, I'm too. Andash, you passed the Mendoza line, Andash for sure. Dino Drift, quite going to be fun with the track. I know it's going to be congestion settings, right? Yellow flag, red flag settings. By the way, I've got some cheeky stats on flags. Where are my fudging stats? It's so annoying this. Virtual safety car probability 50% of the time. Say F1.com safety car probability 38% of the time. Gonna get techier than techie things, and I can't wait for it. I mean, it's nothing like a race weekend. Race weekend is made particularly special after you've had a 1 week break. That familiarity, some say, breeds contempt. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes. 304 of you in the chat concurrently. Do me a favour, smash the like, hay fever settings like you wouldn't believe. This track is awesome, says Eddie. The race is on RTL there. Yeah, one channel on Ziggo. Can't blow my nose anymore. Turtle. I think I'm with you there, Turtle. I'm going to be honest. Got all sorts going on around. You know what? I won't even get into the gory details, but I'm trying to stop. More pleasure blowing something. Oh my gosh. Brett, you got me. You got me. I'm cancelling Ziggo. Are you, Joe? I thought Ziggo were the benchmark. Some said mind-boggling. They can run 4 kilometres in just over 1 minute. I know the cars are in the twisties. The natural habitat of a Formula 1 car, particularly in 2025, just unbelievable. I was watching something the other day, like a sim on YouTube, that showed like NASCAR cars running around only to be chased by an F1 car. Before the F1 car got going, it was just doing donuts for about 30 seconds and then it just ran off and chased down the NASCAR. I'm telling you, F1 cars aren't slow. Colapinto targeting Q2. So go on then, Ben. So if we're talking about Franco Colapinto, this is his 5th race now. Since he came in for Mick's not doing so well. This is his 5th race. So let's see how it works out for him then. Staying up late for 317. Waking up early for F1 Good Sports Weekend. Go on then, remind me, who's 317? Oh, it's Chandler and Charles. Charles, not Charles. Oh, the humanity. Not Chandler. Ilya. Tapuria and Charles Oliver. Oh my gosh. Winter in Melbourne. We've all got nasty colds and flu. Luke, it's weird the way the temporal circumstance changes. Even if it's for the better, warmer. And then all of a sudden you just start getting all kinds of flu. And apparently the human biology does not adapt well to change. Who's Crash Pinto? I'll have mole host settings. Let's go. Ziggo was the benchmark before Viaplay. There you go, Joe. Enlighten me. I pretty much don't have a nose to blow. Oh wow, no cartilage or flesh. Blimey, Turtle. I'm sorry to hear that. You're a legend, Turtle. Like, strength sending you massively. Scuderia stock is tanking big time. Lewis is nowhere at the moment. I'm telling you, Andash. All those hundreds of millions invested. No payback to speak of just yet. He's going to get techie. Go on then. With T-19 minutes left on the docket as you round 3rd base for FP1. Round 11, the Austrian Grand Prix. Who's that? Ocon. Get out. Get out. Yeah, flat spot because you outbraked yourself, mate. You were being too ambitious. But now's the time to do it, eh? So long as you don't yeet yourself into the barrier. Ocon. Cheeky off. Turn 3. Or turn 1 even. White flags for Fred. I know. Imagine. Hanny, of course, alluding to the fact that in Spain, when they want the manager out, if you've ever watched football in La Liga, they start, particularly in Barcelona and Madrid, they start to wave the white flags. Fred's got a lot. This is important weekend on so many different fronts. This is an important weekend for so many different teams. An F1 person. Now, Fred, he'll need to show something. He needs a race victory, basically, to alleviate the pressure that's coming down the bloody pipe. Like, he's going to, I don't know. Vindaloo Curry. Yeah. I feel bad for Lewis. He left Mercedes and now it was always, you know, Darius, I said the probability that Lewis nailed the timing of his move from McLaren to Mercedes, like almost to the day, to the second even. We thought at the time, in real time, I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback, I thought that Lewis had lost his mind. You don't leave Mercedes in 2013-14 to go to Mercedes. I don't care if they're a works team. You just don't do that. was nonsense. McLaren were a real race team with some serious heritage. Nobody foresaw that McLaren were going to do one of these, and conversely, Mercedes were going to do one of these. I just didn't see it. I thought Lewis was a chaos merchant. I thought he'd been ill-advised. I thought he was losing his mind. Genuinely, I thought something was off. Don't leave McLaren to go to Mercedes and then, oh, ye of little faith, what do you know, Cameron? I said when he was leaving, I wanted him to go to Ferrari and test the waters, eat some pasta, drink some Maranello red wine. I did want it. It's a bucket list item, irrespective of whether even it wins another race. Just go over there and do it. Ultimately, it might taint his legacy, but you regret more the things that you don't do than the things that you do. Go over to Ferrari, right? But I said when he moved that it's very rare that a driver nails their timing so perfectly twice. That he nailed the McLaren to Mercedes move almost to the millisecond, and that he was going to do it again, play it again. Sam, lightning doesn't strike twice. Some said that was always going to be my concern. Sonny Hayes is faster than Lando. What is going on with this F1 film? It's only for pulses, right? Oh my gosh. Done in P4. Look at, oh my gosh. Done in P4, less than half a tenth behind Oscar. What? Oh my gosh. Alex done out here making a name for himself. Monaco Grand Prix, any? That's chaos. Maranello settings. Nora. Murky's still nowhere. Lal, they're not championship. Lewis doesn't care. Really? Cabrito? Did you watch last weekend's Grand Prix? Canada. What, P1 and 3? Did you what? I don't know about that. Lest I wish to disbelieve the evidence of my own eyes and ears, maybe. Max is kind of salty. Oh gosh, you guys using these terms to which I cannot refer. Lol, it's all the car and none of Lando. Proof right there. Wow. Make a point. Although it's still early days this race weekend. T minus 15 minutes left on the docket. Oh, the humanity. Thanks for reading my comments. I've joined. How can I personally email you, mate? If you look, if any of you guys want to, I can't respond to all the emails because we're a big deal out here. Do you know what I mean? 45. No, I'm joking. Sometimes I try and respond to all the emails, but I fail sometimes. But if you go on the community tab on Twitter, Cameron CC, Cameron_CC, instead of an A, an X in the Cameron, you can get me on there. Or there's if you scroll down in the description, Andash, there's a business email. When have I been wrong? I told you it was wow. I don't think you're about 1,000, Andash. I don't think you're about 1,000. Nicky Lauda saw it coming. He was instrumentally convincing the mood. 100%. Shout out to the legend that is Nicky Lauda. Multitudinous Bang Bang says it's going to be a t-shirt scene. When I get time, Lando is done. Oof. Like what you've done there, Brett. Lewis didn't really have a choice to stay or not. They were making room for the... Well, he did, Easy G. He did. I suppose they forced his hand. They called his bluff with the 1+1, knowing all the while that Lewis at the ripe old age of 40 wanted himself a multi-year deal. But they don't tend to give 40-year-old sports stars. This is Apex GP all over it. It is Sonny Hayes, isn't it? I was trying to think, is Sonny Lewis? Sonny is Lewis, isn't he? Great lap from Dunn. Lando might get his P45 in Abu Dhabi. I mean, cheaper, hungrier, faster. I think Lewis has a gearbox. He hasn't come out of pits, has he? They're doing something. He has an everything issue as they need to be out there, Ferrari. This is the point that I'm making about Ferrari. You bring all these upgrades and then you don't test for it. You've got the aero rake on and you haven't tested the rear suspension, nor have you tested the bloody like, what are they doing? They're so frustrating, Ferrari. How many laps have they done? So Bogdanovic has done 10. Lewis has done 13. Surely you need to do... No, to be fair, tell a lie. Don't speak too soon, Cameron. Lewis has done 34 laps. Like, all right. Mind your necking, Cameron. No, he's done some laps at least. Sonny's 60. I don't know, bro. There's a link or two that you can go and check out on Twitter. Just looks a bit. If you guys used to play PlayStation back in the day, it looks a bit Wipeout 2097 for me. A bit too contrived. If I'm on it, I'm an old F1 fan, right? Grey bearded, grizzled F1 vet. So maybe it's not for me. Maybe this is Drive to Survive on speed. No pun intended. Cam, what's with the hats? We are not rappers, says Michael Romero. Are we not rappers? Well, listen, the cap, I hate caps. And I always promised in my second tour of YouTube that I wouldn't wear one. However, I'm yellow sectors underneath here. I said it before, didn't I, Michael? I'll say it again. Around here is like purple sectors, but here is like DNS. It's so... It's so bad. And I'm what happened is that normally back in the day, every once in a while, just, do you know what I mean? Crew cut it like as if I were going into the army, just to reset. Last Airbender, Eng settings, avatar mode. But this time, because I'm like old and haggard, it grew back really weird. So that's what's going on there, Michael. To peel back the fourth wall. 325 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour, smash the like, go bold. I'm going to, but that needs looking after I don't know, Joe. I don't know where I am. I don't know. It is your destiny. I don't know where I am yet. I'm rock and hard place. Dude jumped in McLaren and is making it stick. Not a single person on the planet could do the same thing, but true. True, Zane. Sonoda's still wrestling with it, eh? Interesting that there's T-minus 10 minutes left on the docket. And then having a look at Mike Crack just recently. He had 14 minutes, T-minus 14 minutes left on the docket. Interesting, that. I wonder why the timings are different. George Russell, for the avoidance of doubt, still tops your timing sheets on a 5.542. Dean those on soft S compound, the C5 tyres. Maximilian Verstappen sits only half a tenth adrift. Up, raindrops. Only half a tenth adrift of King George Russell's time on a 5.6. I wonder on what tyres he set those that time. Huh. Still quickest. Oh my gosh, look at the rain clouds. Oh no, I'm going to King of Nuts, I promise you, at some point. No, I'm not, but I wish I could grow an afro, Brett. Genuinely, I really wish. Raindrops, it looks dark and cloudy. Really dark. Bob Marley settings, Joe. I wish I could. I've not got the... Eddie, I appreciate you doing that, mate. The streets are cold out here, and I don't want any smoke. Do you know what I mean? Mike Crack. Umach, have you changed your name? What's that about? I was quite deliberate in my enunciation. Umach, Mike Crack. Did you not hear me the first time round? I don't want that smoke. T-minus 9 minutes left on the docket. I need that radar. I need that weather radar. Huh. Rain's coming. Dreadlock holiday. Let's go. $400 if you're in the chat can currently do me a favour and smash the like. I appreciate you. If you want to join the channel and support, there is a join button bottom left of your screen. Become an elated pedder. Get yourself access to the Discord, using which we continue F1 modes of discourse. And of course, using that, you'll get a cheeky newsletter on the community tab. And so too, you will get access to emojis and get priority in the chat each and every single time. I hated growing an afro, says Karen. Names are glitched. Behave yourself. They look perfect to me. Are they glitched really, Joe? Backwards cap, I know. It's sad times out here, Zane. I've got to. If I turn it around, it just no. I didn't change my name. You're seeing YouTube handle. Oh no, much. What's going on? What is going on? Oh, and by the way, there is merch somewhere on your screen. Cheeky Max Verstappen merch. Sonoda, and there is more coming. There will be cheeky phrase teas coming out. Oh, the humanity, but I digress. Difference in extents and not kinds. Do you know what I mean? It's getting techie. I wonder how much Lando and Charles will feel disadvantaged from not running FP1. I think you've got to account for that now. $343 of you watching concurrently. We are rounding third base on this FP1 round 11 Austrian Grand Prix. Oh dear, Sonny beat Norris in a Seiko multitudinous, says Bang. Multitude, yeah, that's a good one for the T, isn't it? We'll have to get together. I'm guided by your infinite wisdom. 361 of you in the chat. That's proper. I feel like that's record-breaking numbers for an FP1, and I'm grateful for each and every single one of you who continually tolerate my F1 nonsensory and hold my feet to the F1 flames. More pertinently, that's what we're on about here. I'll always use my name. Let's go, Tony. You're a legend. If I was Zach, I would hand him. I think he already had. So I was listening to the Lando Norris book, and Lando's dad's management company is called ADD. Apropos. No pun intended. And I think Lando already has a sports psychologist. That was the impression that I got. Let's go, Umarch. Let's go. I think he already has himself a sports psychologist. But the problem is it working? Has it been working? To go and get yourself another one, right? Lean into change and improvement, continuous improvement. I don't know. This is different now. Get yourself a material, but that's at least my pronouns are Tony. Let's go, Tony. Did you hear on the, I don't know why we're talking about this. Nothing must be happening in FP1. Did you hear on the greatest roast ever, that girl who said about that man that his pronouns are it and that? She's good. I forget her name, but she's brilliant. She absolutely stole the show. Cheeky banter makes free practice and race it. I know, Brett. Sometimes it's got to be that. I think that's what they miss sometimes. Although Harry Benjamin brings a different slant, let's say, to the coverage. Go on then, runners and riders. George Russell now on hard compound tyres. He's getting that due diligence in, isn't he? On the hards, huh? Not too many have touched hards, but Mercedes are. Maximilian Verstappen getting in some sim time on the mediums, 18 laps thus far. Oscar Piastri, 21 laps on the mediums. Your runners and riders, timing-wise, 105.5 still from George Russell of Kings Lynn, Norfolk. Disrespected by Toto, the boy who cried wolf. No contract about which we can speak just yet. 2 weeks, Toto. Time's ticking, sir. Behind him, Max Verstappen. Half a second adrift on a 105.6. Piastri on a 5.7. Done. Brand new in F1 on a 5.7 also. Gasly 5.8. Bortoletto 5.9. Albon on a 105.9 also. Sainz on a 106. Lewis Hamilton down the road on a 106.1. What are we doing here? No bueno. Potentially, though, they'll have more time and speed in. This is due diligence settings from Scuderia Ferrari now. They've got to test the new parts. They've got to understand the new floor. and whether it's fixed for their lack of rigidity at the rear of the car. George is overrated. How very don't let tactical hear you say that. Don't let tactical nor Andash. He's a decent Gunny. He's decent, mate. I'm telling you, he's. Let's see how we go. Did you watch qualifying last time round, Gunny? Did you see the fact that he was a 10th and a half down the road from Max Verstappen, who in turn put in a god tier lap? I mean, if you can, I don't know. Unbelievably good at bootling belt. Carted against him back in the day with the likes of Dan Tittum, Jamie Caroline, and did you? Wow, that's some serious pedigree, Cameron. I don't hate that. Then his man a P1. Has third driver ever gone P4? Surviving Tittum is a feat in and of itself. Just throw the whole car away. Yeah, well, first timer on your channel. I appreciate you, mate. I'm going to try and pronounce that name. Rattle, oh, mate, I can't do the surname. Rattle, you're a legend. Love your podcast reviews and thoughts on Alonso's season thus far. Oh, so the problem for Alonso, as far as benchmarks, your first port of call is to compare X driver with their teammate Y. But Stroll's not a representative benchmark, even for Fernando Alonso at like 43, 44 years old. Stroll's never going to get near him. Not like, do you know what I mean? So you would need to test where Fernando Alonso is. You would need to see him alongside, I don't know, a Pierre Gasly or a Charles or a Max. That's when you get a proper indication, because I don't think Stroll's up to the task. There's to deliver is like the apex of the mountaintop, right? As far as building yourself a successful driver championship case. Ground zero, however, is desire, and I'm not sure if you're talking about Lance Stroll that he even gets to ground zero. I don't think he wants to be there, or at least his demeanour isn't commensurate of someone that wants to be there in F1, which is sad because there's only 20 of them currently driving it, and most of us would kill. Do you know what I mean? Unalive people, quite literally, with a view to drive an F1 car, not over the course of a championship or a season, just for one lap. So I don't know. It's tough. Alonso's been all right. I don't think he's not 0506 Alonso, I'll say, Rattle. What's going on, Remco? I think Dunner's just proven that you could literally stick anybody in that McLaren and they would be sitting 1 and 2 in the driver's chat. Maybe. I don't know about beyond reasonable doubt categorically, definitively, but I get it. T minus 5 seconds left on the docket, and that is your FP1. I think George is underrated. Most of the hate can be traced back to his demeanour, not the skill. I think most of the hate, Umarch, comes from Sir Lewis Hamilton fans who expected Lewis to soundly demolish King George Russell, Mr. Saturday, and were surprised. One of which I was, to be fair. The rate 5, if you're watching currently, thank you so much. You guys have been legends. We'll be back a little bit later on for FP2. Hopefully, I'll put something in the diary, placeholder settings, and if I can make it, we'll go 99% of the time. In fact, I'll be back. What am I talking about? Why am I trying to no sell FP2? You guys have been legends. Between now and the next time we speak, half an hour before FP2, the prosecution rests as always. No further questions, Your Honour.